Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hopefully, you're having a great Friday morning. I am just so excited about being here with you on this morning. It's been a little minute. We just recently did a live interview. Please go back and watch that interview with Quandra Banks. Her testimony was absolutely phenomenal. For those of you guys that are chiming in right now, I am Michelle Harton, the brand master, and just excited about what's happening right now in our community of entrepreneurship. So let me do a shameless plug real quick. Let me do a shameless plug for all of my churches, pastors out there that are looking for a building or looking for some type of place to have a service. I want you to know that I am your real estate lady, right? I have recently, last year, now I can say a claim that I am an award-winning real estate agent, and that is absolutely mind-blowing in the first year of me actually being a real estate agent. So I I'll be introducing to you guys my mentor, who is going to help me help pastors. So I also got this feedback that will be helping me with helping pastors locate the perfect spot for them. And just want to give you guys that little information. But without any further ado, let me introduce you this morning my guest. She is a phenomenal woman. Let me just say this, guys. You think I'm busy. She is equally as busy as I am. She is a pastor. She is a first lady. She is also an author of a book called Confessions of a Preacher's Wife. She's director of ministries at a church. Guys, she is a Delta Sigma Theta. So everybody knows what that means. I apologize to all of my Delta sisters out there that are Deltas. She is also Lamarck City Councilwoman. So I want you guys to help me to welcome Kim Yancey. Kim Yancey. Kim, how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, you gotta get that right. Delta
I know.
Sigma
Please say
Theta
it again for me before I get in trouble. Say it again. Delta Sigma Theta.
Sorority Incorporated.
Sorority Incorporated. So welcome. This has been a long time coming. I am so excited to be able to have a conversation with you this morning and to share you with our audience here at King Cast. You do so much. There's a complexity to what you do and who you are. I just want to say congratulations to all of the milestones that you have accomplished over the years. Being a city councilwoman there in Lamarck, Texas is huge. It's huge. You're representing your constituents, and they have a great person in place for the job. So let's go ahead and dive in. You are a pastor's wife.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tell us the name of the
28
church.
years. Okay.
Tell us the name of the
Our
church.
church is New Vision Baptist Church in Dickinson, Texas. My husband has pastored since he was 24. He's been preaching since he was 14. And so we've been in ministry a long time. We have been blessed. We're having fun though. We raised our kids and have one at home after raising four. They're all in college. One graduated, and so we're blessed. So we're still healthy enough to still work for the kingdom. So we're excited that we got all this time now. We're empty
Yes.
nesters. So it's a beautiful thing. So,
Right.
but God has been good though. So I'm so proud of you and so excited to be on your show today on KingCast TV. Yes.
Yes. So even talking about church, Kim, the dynamics of church have changed because of the pandemic. That's not, any new news, but
Mhm.
pivoting into a new place where we can still connect to our members, connect to our communities. You have become a part of something, a great movement of that. Before we talk about that, let me first introduce what Pastor Solution Network is. We're here together because you came to me for a technology that you have, and it resonated with me so much,
Mhm.
so that I knew many pastors needed this tool. And
Mhm.
so some pastors, whether they admit it or not, they suffer in silence, not
Mhm.
having the right tools,
Yeah.
not having the proper staffing,
Mhm.
not having the resources. And so we wanted to be an answer to that. So we created the Pastor Solution Network, in which we'll tell you guys a little later how you can meet Kim as well as Dr. Michael Stevens, who will be coming from North Carolina on next week. So we'll give you information on that. So go ahead and just share with us about how your role with this app has
Mhm.
literally changed the trajectory of how we can do church.
Wow. When we were approached about this app last summer, it blew me away. They actually flew us to Miami, Florida to give us this demo about this new app that it was formulated in the country of Brazil. It is the number one church app in the country of Brazil. And their goals was they wanted to become the number one church app here in North America. And so when I saw the app and I saw how simple it was to use,
Okay.
first of all, church will never be the same.
No.
Church will never be the same. We are moving into a hybrid form of worship, not changing the message, just changing the methods.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
good.
that that method is being able to touch people that are not within your four walls.
Mhm,
And the question of how do you disciple believers in cyberspace? What does that
mm,
look like? How do we connect with people, but also match them up with a local ministry that can see and touch them? Because
mhm,
I still believe we need the Barnabas touch, right? But at the
mhm,
same time, we've got the Bible says that Christ won't return until the
mm.
word has gone forth to the four corners of the earth. Guess
Yeah.
what? That's happening now.
Yes.
So this app is a kingdom answer. It's a master
Mm,
tool to set the church up to do exactly that. And
mhm.
so I've been teaching since 2004.
Yes.
Left my job to teach to take a leap of faith to try to educate churches about the app. The church can be very stagnant and slow at times, and sometimes they have to see people that look like them
Mhm.
to bring something to them that will revolutionize the industry. Now, I am praying for revival, and
Yes.
you know that revival only comes from God.
Yes.
I believe that God gives you, He sets you up before He shows up.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I
Come
think
on.
that this
Come
app
on.
is a
Yeah.
marvelous setup to get ready for God's revival that's on the way. If you look at history, after the bird flu of 1918, the
Mhm.
Azusa revival happened not long after that. So
Wow.
you have the revival in entertainment and the revival of the church. And
Mhm.
so those of us who love God, who love His church and His people, it's imperative that we prepare ourselves for what God is getting ready to do. And I believe that this church app is one of His tools.
Wow, that's powerful. Everything that you just said is not only talking about technology, but it's talking about revolution. You
Mhm,
know, how we have to evolve into this new space to disciple, to be able to interact with our current members in a small groups, you know, being able to have those small groups where people can still feel like they're part of a community. And that is where this whole dynamic of the shift is actually going. Even in the marketplace,
mhm,
most of the training groups, mentorship groups, they're all online. And
mhm,
so having your own mobile app, your own device for your ministry will help you to stay current. We're not all the way there because we should be in the artificial intelligent age. And
mhm,
so the church is still yet slightly behind, but
mhm,
this is a way for us to catch up and to be connected. And I know you guys have so many stories of churches that you've already helped
mhm.
here. What would you say is one of the biggest rewards that you've seen with some of the people coming on board, going ahead and securing this app and engaging in the app? What's one of the rewards you've seen?
Reconnecting, because so
Mm,
many people have felt disconnected. Um, and the church has struggled with connection anyway, even before COVID, because of
mm,
the class systems that we have right in America. So, in a way, people had disconnected from the church before COVID, but now we understand that COVID has kind of put everyone on the same level field, right? A
mhm,
playing field. So we've got to be real intentional about reconnecting. And so this app, if when utilized properly, becomes that tool that we use to reconnect with those that we have disconnected from. Now, I don't think the church meant to do that. I think
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happens is that we're competing against so much more in the world. I mean,
Mhm,
people are
mhm.
just hit with so much information, and that the church sometimes has forgotten or hasn't learned how to communicate with this new generation.
Yeah.
And so you have to study technology. You have to listen, to hear from the Holy Ghost, because I believe the Holy Spirit gives you everything and tells you, and if anything, the Holy Ghost is the master innovator, right? He knows all. But we have to be
Everything.
in tune, right? We have to be in tune to be able to hear from God about what He wants us to do, right? And so this app, what I have seen is that, Michelle, it has helped us to re-engage and connect with uh, the people of the earth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to talk a little bit about some of the pain points of pastors when it comes to apps, resources, technology. We know a lot of the hesitancy is because they don't have the finances to actually engage. So we talk about some of the current apps that are already in place that are just as great. You know, we know that this app is not a new evolution to solve a problem. There are other apps that are available. However, there are some challenges when it comes to your small and media, and even some of your large churches being able to compete and being able to have this tool easy, affordable, and then have the excellent customer service to help
Right.
make sure that they're using all of these tools and these features to the best of their abilities. And I want to say this is exactly what this app does. But let's talk a little bit about some of the pastors' pain points. Why do you think pastors are a little resistant? Because we know what the resistance was of them getting on Facebook. They said it was the devil, right? And then pandemic hit, and then God answered as Facebook as being an angel now, you know, to
Mhm.
allow them to broadcast. However, that still wasn't a answer. What are some of the pain points of resistance that you think pastors have? Because I believe pastors are watching, and this may resonate with them. And now I believe pastors are a little bit more transparent as to they need help. So, what
Mhm.
have been you guys' experience and resistance in moving forward in the digital space?
Well, the technology is so overwhelming. It
Okay.
changes so fast. So that's the thing. Having the skill set within your congregation to be able to keep up with that. Um, I believe it takes leadership, because pastors are in the Word. They're studying. They're trying to make sure that they're hearing from God. They cannot do it all.
Yeah.
Those days where the pastor has to do it all, that those days are over. How you get your members to engage is by giving them roles, trying to find out their skill sets, what they can do. Young people love technology. I'm a teacher, I know.
Mm-hmm.
First time I saw a text was from a seventh grader who was texting in my classroom and I was giving the lecture. And I said, "What is that?" This is like 2004, 2005.
Hmm.
"Oh,
Hmm.
Miss Yancy, this is texting." I was like, "That's stupid. Why would you text when you can talk?" But guess what? We're texting now. So a little 12-year-old years ago, so I've noticed that technology that they pretty much dictate what the next hot thing is going to be. Just
Yeah.
imagine if the church did that. If
Mm-hmm.
we engaged our young people to learn this app, to learn about sound and audio,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that is setting up transferable skills for our kids to be able to utilize, not just in the church, but
Yeah.
within their own companies and when their own jobs, their secular jobs, right? And so just like they did back in the day with BTU, and how BTU taught you how to speak in
Yes.
front of people and how to be bold in front of people.
How to
BTU.
find those chapters in the book.
That's right, right. But those were transferable skills. We took those
Mhm.
skills and now we know how to speak in public, and we took those skills and now we can read faster than the most. I tell people Sunday school is the best way to make sure you have an A student in school.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to Sunday school, right? Because you have to read and analyze the word and then apply it to your life. Well, it's the same thing with this church app. We have to teach our children technology in the
Mm-hmm.
church. So uh, this piece is not only about helping to reach the masses, but it also can provide your members with a skill set that they can use in their secular jobs as well, particularly young people. I have gone to some churches, Michelle, and everybody that works with sound technology and tech,
Is
they're
young.
all under the age of 25.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking from 9 years old to
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it works. It works.
I
Because
agree.
so when I meet pastors and they say, well, I don't have anybody. I'm like, do you have a 12-year-old? And they
Hmm.
go, yeah. I said, let me meet with them. Let's talk. And then they're shocked at how much that 12-year-old knows about technology.
Already. So
Hmm.
I know even now
Hmm.
pastors are looking through their churches right now. Where's that 12-year-old? Where's that 12-year-old in their ministry? I want to talk
Hmm.
a little bit about PSN, and then we want to close with some of the features of this app. PSN, Pastor Solution Network, is a forum, is a group, is a movement to help pastors fill in the gaps. What are your gaps? You know, every pastor's gap and their challenge is different. So it's not like a cookie cutter where, you know, we're serving you one answer. One church may be technology, it may be staffing, it may be construction, it may be funding. In the
Hmm.
Pastor Solution Network, you will get a chance to meet experts that actually this is what they do. They're pastorpreneurs. Um, Want to introduce one of them, Bishop Titus Stewart, who will be with us on next week. Little did I know, I knew he was doing construction, but I didn't know that he had actually launched his own construction company. So
Wow.
his name of his construction company is called Impeccable Construction. And so you say a pastor, construction, a lot of pastors that I know are carpenters. They know how to build, they know how to do something, but he has created this as a business model for him beyond the pulpit. And so that's another feature of the Pastor Solution Network is helping pastors identify what is their marketplace skill. You know, what can they do beyond the pulpit that will still help them um, create their revenue, their their presence into the place that they have the most and greatest influence, even beyond the pulpit. So that's one of the things that Pastor Solution Network. We also will be dealing, of course, with branding and marketing. We have myself, we have James Jacobs, a great friend of mine who is phenomenal in what he does. We both are strategists. We both come with a background of working with churches and helping them develop their media, their social media, their marketing strategy. So you're going to get the best of both worlds with us. And then also we have funding. You know, pastors are saying, how can I at least get, maybe I can't get a big grant, but can I get
Mhm.
3,000, 5,000? We
Right.
have people on our team that's going to show you how to do that. And more importantly, this whole movement was inspired by this app. It was inspired by meeting Kim and having conversations, you know, some of the gaps that they were challenged with as a church, and then send that abroad. And you heard her. She left her job. That's how important this is.
Right.
Left her job to be able to do this full time. And so you'll also get a chance to meet Dr. Michael Stevens. He's from North Carolina. He's one of the corporate executives of the company. So he'll be here personally speaking with us on transitioning into the digital space and using this tool to help us. So if you're a pastor, and you know you have some gaps. I've talked to a pastor that doesn't even have his 501c3, and that was for many reasons. From the Bible says we perish for lack of knowledge, and so
Mhm.
sometimes we've heard things over the years that have warped our perception on um, how we can forge ahead. You know, maybe a particular thought process was paralyzed because somebody embedded wrong information. This
Mhm.
is how you become vulnerable, pastors. You
Mhm.
come to the table and you say, listen, you know, I need your help. You know, we need this, we need that. And we never know where this movement of Pastor
Mhm.
Solution Network is going to thrive through 2022. But we do know that you have the best people on the team, and this team will definitely grow as we find more pastorpreneurs and specialists to help.
Mhm.
We have more things planned for this year, but we're going
Mhm.
to start here. This is our starting point. to just gather us together. It has been said to me, Kim, Michelle, your model is for the white church. And it wasn't offensive. It wasn't offensive. I totally understood what they were saying. They were saying that they have the ability to come together without any egos, without any, preconceived notions. They have the ability to come totally transparent to say, listen, I need help. What can you do? What can we do? What can we do together? But the Black church, is our time to now adopt this same mindset. We can do it. Just say what you need. The answer is in the room. I don't have all the answers. Kim may not have all the answers, but I can tell you, we know within our Rolodex, between the two of us, we know people who does. So when you hear Pastor Solution Network, Kim, how does that resonate to you in this particular time?
It's a one-stop shop. First of all, let me address what was said to you. The African American church, we don't know what we don't know, because so much information was hidden from us. It wasn't put out there for us. And so this is a great time for us to mine and dig. We are Americans, and this is our nation. This is our democracy. We don't have to ask for anything. It belongs to us. And that's what the Pastor Solution Network, we have those type of thinkers that are involved here. We are children of God, and everything that belongs to him belongs to us. So let me just put that out there. So the Pastors Solutions Network is a one-stop shop where we come together to find the best answers, the best solutions to this new world of ministry when it comes to how do we reach cyberspace? How do we reach them? Then how do we keep our in place interested? There are some churches now that their online presence is so professional, so phenomenal, but that the online church is paying the bills for the in-place church. And I remember 10 years ago being in a youth group and talking to our youth at church and said, hey, don't be surprised if the church is a mic and a pulpit and everyone's at home. I used to always tease them about that, and now they're in their 20s, and they're like, Miss Yancey, what you said came to pass. No, you're a prophet. No. But one thing I love about God is that God is so innovative. I mean, he will flip the script, and he is such an adventure, right? And so a Pastor Solution Network is that pipeline, is that network that we know what God can do, will do, and is able to do. And so we have placed ourselves in a structure where we're that think tank, that we're coming together, hearing from God, and coming with the best practices. So I see the Pastor Solutions Network as a think tank of best practices and what we can do to save time and money and to help, because the average church in America is 75 people. That is the average church size. And it's that church too that we want to be able to reach with the Pastor Solutions Network, so that we're not reinventing the wheel, because not everybody has the same skill set at their church. So this can be the place where, hey, there's no excuses anymore. Excuses are monuments of nothingness, right? So you can come to the Pastor Solutions Network and receive those kingdom answers.
Well, pastors, you've come into the kingdom for such a time as this, they say. It's time for us to roll up our sleeves and just really dig down and exemplify what church has meant to God all along. And it's taking in the wounded, the brokenhearted, restoring people, forgiving people, loving on people. And the best way to do that is to stay connected to the community that you serve, as well as expanding your community to those that you do not know, right? So the Pastor Solution Network will be held on Thursday, January the 20th, from 10 to 12. Just 2 hours. Guys, 2 hours, we're coming together. You'll hear more. You'll hear from speakers. Get Your House in Order by Bishop Titus Stewart. He's going to just start on it. He won't be able to finish it, but he's going to just start on it. Myself and James Jacobs will be talking about how to rebrand and look at things, how you positioning your brand in the marketplace or on these social media platforms. And then we have Dr. Michael Stevens, who will be talking about this mobile app that is it is just blowing the minds of pastors that we share with, because they like, how's it so simple? How did you guys make it so affordable? And I'm not going to even tell you guys the price. If you want the price, because I can tell you that it's going to go away very soon, because this was an introductory into the new year. And I'm not sure what the company is doing. They may just have it to January the 20th. Kim probably know. Kim know the answer to that. But I don't know. It could be just to that date, and you would never ever see that offer again. I can guarantee you. And I do know that. It's a crazy offer when they could very well sell this app for what the market price and what they have been positioning in. So if you know a pastor, if you are a pastor, come out, be with us at Houston Baptist University. You're going to go to the Hinton building, and we're in Dillon too. So that information, you'll get reminders if you register at mypsn.org. You're asking how much does it cost? It's already been paid for you. Please just show up. And so we will have social distancing. Everybody will still remain wearing their mask, because we're still in this pandemic, and we want to keep everyone safe, right? So just make sure that if you're not feeling well, guys, don't come. We'll get you the information. But if you're vaccinated, if you are built up and you're still doing business, come out, be a part of this meeting at Houston Baptist University, and that's Central Houston, right off of Fundren. From anywhere, any one of the freeways you can get there, go ahead and come out and be a part of that. So let's just give them, Kim, give them 3 features, just 3 of your favorites. And I'm going to see if they're the same as mine. But go ahead and give them 3 features of this app.
Okay, the 3 features that I really like, that's going to blow people away, is the MP's Play.
Okay.
Because that takes the piece of the CDs and tape ministries, that we used to have. And so let's say there's a really amazing sermon that was great that you want people to see. The MP's Play is like our own MP's Play Netflix channel, where you can be able to get on that channel and see your sermon, and they can subscribe to it. So that's the part that I really like. The other feature, of course, is a prayer board, where you can request prayer and then put the answers to prayer. I don't think we talk enough about answered prayer. And so it becomes a post of its own when you see God answers the different prayers of people in your church. That, and of course, the live. I love the live. Our kids love the live, because they can chat and be on their phone and chat during the live sermon and ask questions to the pastor. And the pastor can go back and answer their question after the sermon, of course, but they're able to put in their questions, and then the notes section. That's going to be the new section that we're going to have in, where they can actually do fillable notes while they're doing the Bible study discussion. So I know I've probably told you 4, but
No, that's great.
it's so hard, because it's so interactive, and it's
it is.
so
It's very
user
interactive.
friendly, right? And so you can do it anywhere. That's the cool thing. I can go on a trip and still hear my pastor, right?
Right.
I can
Right.
be anywhere and still get to hear the church choir sing. I love praise and worship and music, and so. And then this is a great app for gospel musicians as well, too.
Oh
So
yeah, artists. Yeah.
your favorite gospel music, it's better than Pandora, because I can go straight and I can see their videos, I can see their music, and just go all day. Their shirts and products. The store part is what I like too. Where, I know, right? Well, you can buy like, if I'm a first lady that's an author, so you can purchase my book from our church app. And so there's a great way for church entrepreneurs to actually partner with their church to get their products in their church app and give 10% of whatever revenues to the church.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I would like to just close with saying that while we're in this Pastor Solutions Network, I do think and believe that there's a conversation or just a comment that I can make to the church as a whole. It's important that we stay together. It's important that we keep the relevance of the church alive. If we say that the church or we'll never go back to church as usual, that statement is true. However, our coming to God will never change.
Mm-hmm.
How we come to him is how we will always come to him. And I don't care what people are doing. I have, for the last 2 weeks, have had this mental thought of everything that's contrary to how they try to go away from God. They still come back to God. I can give you some examples, but it probably will lead down a rabbit trail. But we got to keep that in mind, is that the ultimate goal of the church is to bring people to God. If you can do it in a building, if you can do it on an app, if you can do it with small meetings, small groups, that is the ultimate God, that all men may have an opportunity to know who Jesus is, that
That's right.
he saved. He
Yeah.
died, he came, he died, he
Yeah.
rose, he lives, he sits on the right hand side of the Father, making intercession for us. And nothing that you go through in life, you go through alone. That is the ultimate evangelistic movement that this app, my Pastor Solution Network, is really forging this message ahead of anything else. So all of the things we said today are only things to help you to do that, to bring the gospel, to keep the gospel. We're not telling anybody to change your message. I love what Kim said. We're saying change your method. That's how you're going to win. I can tell you from example, my podcast, I have a list of distribution podcast distributors. One of my podcasts is distributed only to India, and it is doing phenomenal. So guess what? There is a market that wants to hear your voice that you would never ever get a chance to meet, to propagate what it is that God has in store for you. So that is my appeal to the church.
Right.
I would say, not leaving the church. Don't leave God.
Don't leave God.
Don't leave God, and don't. Oh, and here go my rules. Don't. That's a strong word. My husband tell me all the time, Michelle, you use very strong words. Be careful, because we're getting this rep about members being able to be members at 10 different churches. You can't eat from everybody's table. Know your pastor and support that movement. Yes, there are other great inspired people that we love to hear, but make sure their message is in alignment with what you're being fed at your table. That it may be, this appetizer, it may be the entree of something that you're not getting, but make sure that you stay aligned and you stay connected to your local house. It's important for those pastors. You can't imagine the burden that has been on pastors as they have had to pivot through this pandemic. They don't see your faces in church, right? They don't see you in the seats. They don't hear your voice. They're preaching to pews. And so having that in mind is to have compassion for what those men of God, women of God go through. And then even being able just to send them a note, send them encouragement, that you see their struggles. You see what they're sacrificing on the church behalf. So I wanted to just share that. As we move into helping pastors, we also want to help the church stay aware that we're not going to be foolish. We're not going to be misled. We're not going to be, I go to this church, this church, this church. No, we're going to stay connected to our local body, and we're going to be empowered by the generals that God have sent to continue to forge us, to help us forge the kingdom of ahead. So Kim, with that being said, do you have any closing remarks?
No, I just look forward to seeing you next week. I'm excited to see what God is getting ready to do.
Yes. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you guys for listening. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Kim, stand by. I'll be right back.